There may be a problem with ICE, with what's happening in Minnesota, that law enforcement agency. Maybe they can be reckless sometimes. Maybe they are not well trained enough to avoid deaths when they do their jobs. Um, and all the ICE chaos and calling them the Gestapo and all the protests and all the anger against ICE. And I don't really have a position. Uh, Basically, I support them, but I'm not sure if they were reckless because there's two different deaths we're talking about here, and who knows? I wasn't there to see what happened. But with regard to law enforcement, generally, I support police, and actually, I love police. I love police departments. I love the police. And like 10, the last 10 years and maybe the last 15 years, I went from not really thinking about the police, caring about the police, not really thinking about police, police officers, and thinking that some of them are bad and some of them you can't really trust, not really trusting them because I don't know which ones to trust. And there may be some that are crooked and you can't really trust them because there's some bad stories about bad cops. But most police, the majority of police, I think, are professional and are in the job because they want to help, and they're trying, and they're very professional. Most of the majority of them, probably a good 90 to 95% of police are professional, and they do help a lot of people. In fact, we'd be lost without them. We would have anarchy. We'd be like Haiti or Somalia. We wouldn't even have a civilization if it wasn't for police. And over the last 10, 15 years, I went from not really trusting police to really loving them. And because who would want to do that job? And as I watched our world descend further and further into chaos, and this is a biblical end time thing, I come to admire police. And generally, they say, who's your hero? Well, police, the good ones, and just generally, police in general would be a hero because 90 to 95%, I think, are professional. So, you know, this world is getting worse and it is descending into chaos. It's, it's getting worse and worse. It's an end time thing. And as I've seen the world get worse, I went from not really caring about the police to now really loving them, just loving police and thinking we wouldn't even have a world. We wouldn't even be able to exist if it wasn't for the police. We'd be completely lost without them. So I've become a big supporter of law enforcement police, though there may be a problem with ICE, some ICE agents.